Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm doing a review on the Salvador lace-up boxing gloves. So stay tuned. Hey guys, Carlo here, and today I'm doing a review on a custom pair of 14-ounce lace-up Salvador boxing gloves. I got mine in the purple, black, and pink python colorway. Salvador is based out of Spain, but the gloves are manufactured in Mexico. Now, this is the very first pair of their training gloves I'm doing a review on. I actually reviewed a pair of Salvador fight gloves a couple of years ago. Was really impressed by those and really wanted to see how their training gloves would perform. You can purchase these gloves directly from Salvador's website, and I believe Box Up Nation also carries Salvador gloves as well. So either or, you can go through either one of them and see what colorways and types that they have. Now, these gloves, outside of the aesthetics of it, there's two types of padding that you can get. There's their standard, which I believe what this one is, which uses your pretty basic latex foam padding that they utilize in this. So it has more of a medium, I'd say medium to firm density to it. Definitely more of a good training glove you can use for sparring. It's definitely not like a puncher's glove. And then they do have an HF model, which I believe they also incorporate horsehair. So it's a much softer feeling glove. A glove for those of you that really want to feel that power transfer when you're landing your punches. So when you order these, outside of getting the custom colors that you're looking for, you can also decide what kind of padding you want to go with. When you look at the glove itself, it's obviously a beautiful looking glove. One thing I noticed about Salvador is they really put an emphasis, much like Grant, on aesthetics. They really want to make sure that the glove looks really sharp. When you do order from them, they're not a mass-produced glove. Like a lot of Mexican companies are, they kind of keep the volume low. So oftentimes, if you go through their website, you may find some in-stock items, but it might just be like a couple, like a small run or a small batch of that particular size and colorway that you might not see again for a very long time, or you have to custom order your own. So you would go through the website and then choose the kind of colors you want, the size, the closure, if you want Velcro or lace up. If you want to go with anything crazy like python leather or whatnot, you can do all of that through their website. So essentially, each glove, in my opinion, that you're getting from Salvador is pretty much like a custom glove. They don't really carry like stock colors per se, like a black and a white, and they just produce a bunch of those and keep those in stock. Pretty much everything that you get from them is going to be kind of a custom setup. So first things first, when you're looking at the glove, it has a medium profile. It's not overly large, not too compact. Right there in the middle, you can see the purple leather has kind of a satin finish to it, a nice thick grain feel to it. You also have that oval Salvador logo, made in Mexico, black and silver. And another thing that you have that's a little bit different that you traditionally don't see in Mexican gloves is the back of the wrist support. So the cuff here, it kind of reminds you of Fly. It has that X design, that crisscross design on the back of the wrist. And again, that's just more for aesthetics to give the glove its own unique look. Coming down, you also have the 14-ounce weight tag, purple piping. The back of the wrist, I'd say you have almost an inch of padding of nice firm density. And you can really tell that they wanted to really give you good wrist support with this glove. And you have almost an inch on the inside of the wrist, so you can see how thick that is on both sides. That comes up to right about here on that side, and then right on that side. You also have a nice smooth, moisture-wicking satin liner, nice long flat laces in this black and red with plastic tips, white stitching throughout the entire glove, purple piping on the thumb. The grip bar has a good size to it. I also have an attached thumb, and then the thing obviously that stands out with this glove is going to be the python leather. So just like the Taurus Medina gloves I did a review on, it does have the scales to it, so when you run your finger across, you can see that that's the actual texture of the skin itself, which is very unique. And that's one thing I would probably be mindful of is, if you were to use these for sparring, this might be an issue of possibly cutting or scraping your opponent, especially if you're punching at obviously at fast speed. When it hits the skin, that's typically when you end up getting a break in. And the gloves look so nice anyways. I don't know if you would want to use it for sparring to begin with. Completely up to you. So You can see that it has that split thumb. What's cool about this particular glove is that the way that they segment the colors. So, you know, traditionally you'll see like a split thumb, but the thumb is split right down the middle. This one's a little bit thicker for the python skin, and then a little bit thinner for the black leather. And then the same thing here, it's not split right down the middle of the palm. It's kind of offset, so you have a little bit more of the python on the outside palm area. And again, kind of gives it a unique look, and that's kind of like Salvador's signature. If you do check out their website or their social media, notice a lot of their gloves utilize that offset split design where it doesn't go right down the middle. So kind of gives them their own unique look. The leather itself, you can see, again, has more. This side, I'd say, is a little bit more on the glossier side compared to the purple, where it's a little bit more of a subdued satin. And then obviously the python has its own texture and color to it. So overall, a really cool looking glove. Quality wise, these gloves are excellent. I mean, as far as stitching goes, I couldn't really find any issues right with this glove. One thing that you do notice with this glove is that it does not have any welted seams. And again, I think that's an option you can pick when you do order from Salvador, so it's completely up to you. But for this particular glove, they decided not to go with the welted seams, but you can see the stitching looks to be on point. The glove is advertised as a 14-ounce glove, and surprisingly, this glove, when I put it on the scale, was actually underweight, which is rare, especially for a Mexican-made glove. They're usually an ounce or two overweight, but when I put this on the scale, it was like almost, I believe it was like 13 and a half ounces, so slightly underweight. And you can actually tell by holding it, it does feel lighter than normal. You can see it's really well balanced, and again, that has a lot to do with the distribution of the padding throughout the wrist section. So you can see there's literally no sag, and it has a nice rigid midsection when you do that. You can see the thumb looks great. Liner looks good. Symmetry of the patch on the back of the glove looks great. Attached thumb is good. You can see just how the leather is bonded to the latex foam. Looks really clean. The stitching is nice and straight. You don't have like crooked stitching all through the bottom portion of the glove, and the liner feels really good. And just overall great workmanship with the glove on both ends. Right where the thumb meets the index finger. And padding consistency, no bubbling or anything like that over the strike surface. And the wrist looks good. So overall, a very well constructed glove. Comfort of the glove, sliding your hand in here. Just like the Taurus Medinas, it has that nice, smooth, silky liner. It's not bunching up, which is really good. One thing is the thumb is in a really good position. So when you make a fist, you can see it kind of pulls down a little bit, but not enough to where you feel like your thumb is going to jam at the tip. The latex on here is a little bit on the stiffer side that I'm used to. I thought this would be a little bit more of a softer glove. But it is a little bit more on the stiffer side, so you do have to do a little bit of breaking in with this glove when you start using it. You know, whether it's for heavy bag work, hitting the mitts, whatnot, just training in the gym. Eventually, the latex foam will start to soften up, which is really good compared to like molded foam that takes forever for it to soften up, and then a lot of the time the molded foam will start to crumble over time due to like heat and moisture. This latex should hold up a lot better in that regard. And then really break in so you can open and close your hand. But you can see that now, after me using these gloves, they do have some flexibility to them, and they continue to will have that. Wrist support feels really good. You know, this is one of those gloves that, again, they put a lot of wrist support on here, so when you tie it down, you lock it up with your hand wraps on. It feels like it's all one piece and like a cast. Depth of the finger compartment is perfect. And what I love about these compared to like the Casanova, the real Casanova, like Nakali, and some of the other gloves that are made in Mexico, is that sometimes the hand compartments are just too big. Like you feel like your hand kind of swims around inside the glove. Even with hand wraps on, there's just like a little bit too much room on the sides of your hands. With this, the compartment's like a perfect size. And with my hand wraps on, it feels really good. The finger actually has like, I kind of feel like it's like a piece of rolled leather or some kind of other material over the stitching, so you don't feel that. And it almost acts like a secondary grip bar, so when you make a fist, you can really grip down on it. So overall, the comfort is definitely there, and it's a very comfortable glove. Protection and performance, again, you know, when I was using this glove for training, I felt like this is definitely a little bit more on the protective side for a Mexican style glove because of the latex padding and how dense it is. So this is a great glove for those of you that really want a Mexican style glove. but want it to be a little bit more on the shock absorbent side. You don't want something that, you know, your punches go all the way through. And that's a great thing, is that you have that option to choose. It's kind of like what Rival does with like their HDEF padding, and then they have their SFF padding, which is a little bit softer, more pillowy. You have that option. So it's really case by case basis, depending on whoever decides to purchase the gloves on what you prefer. But if you are looking for a little bit more of a shock absorbent, a little bit more protective glove, then I would definitely go with the standard padding. Because even with a bag that's a little bit more on the densely packed side and stiffer, I feel like this does a really good job of absorbing shock. And I can still feel my knuckles land, but it doesn't hurt. I don't feel like I get any kind of pressure on my knuckles or any kind of discomfort, which is a good thing. Cost-wise, these gloves, once you convert it, I believe they sell them in euro. I want to say it's 229 euro, but once you convert it over to US dollar, it's about 250 bucks US dollar. So, and granted, it might change throughout the year, just depending on the currency and basically the economy. But about 250 bucks, which is a fair price. All things considered, you're getting a really beautiful custom glove, great craftsmanship. They look awesome. You know, there's basically nothing you can really do as far as your imagination goes in terms of colorways and style of gloves. So that's really good. And multiple different sizes. You can do Velcro closure if you wanted to. Although I think these gloves look better in lace up. So, you know, definitely, in my opinion, worth the price at that price point, around the $200 to $250 range for a custom pair of Mexican-made gloves. And I think these perform very well, especially for a glove with that latex foam that's a little bit denser and a little bit more protective. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these Salvador training gloves. I'll see you guys later. Take care.